This is True Crime Tradies. Listener discretion is advised. Pussies.
Hey everybody, welcome back to True Crime Tradies. How you going, JB?
I'm going well, thank you very much. We had a hot day today, so I've been sweating balls all day, but happy to be back in the cool studio in the crime lab. Looking forward to getting to the next episode.
Yeah, well, it's really right. I was knackered today. Been looking forward to this all day, actually. This was a really good case. I'm glad you picked this one.
Yeah, no, I had a couple of moments today where I was just giggling to myself at certain things that I might say, and then you see me laughing, and then I'm like, I've got something to say, but I'm not going to tell you now because we have that problem at work. We spend all day with each other and we start talking about the case. Like, stop talking about it, save for the pod. And that was one of those moments today. And yeah, hopefully those jokes that I had in my head that were hilarious don't fall flat on their face.
Well, time will tell. We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. We actually had a really good response during the week from the what did we call the little silly story at the start? It was like dumb criminal.
I don't think we called it anything. It was just like the palate cleanser. Something.
Yeah. We'll have to come up with a
it.
name. So if anyone has a good idea for a name, then write in, let us know, because we're a bit lost at the moment for that.
Yeah, we're not talented enough.
So this week was my turn for the palate cleanser or the idiot of the week story. So I've picked one from Kokomo, Indiana, actually. So
I'm actually sorry. I'm before you go on. I'm actually looking forward to this because last week you didn't know what I was going to come up with, and I don't know what you're going to come up with now. And I hope you're going to make it as good as I made it for you because I had a story that you were right into, something that was close to your heart, and I'm just hoping you do the same thing for me.
No, because I know that you're a big fan of Jeffrey Epstein, and I just didn't really want to touch those files. So I went on a different direction. So this one's about Derek Koch from Indiana. Derek, he entered a convenience store in Kokomo, Indiana, with a fully loaded semi-automatic handgun. And he approached the clerk behind the counter and he was demanding cash and cigarettes. And he was dead serious. He was not mucking around. The poor female clerk behind the counter, I think it was about 4 a.m, something like that. She was absolutely terrified. And she turned to grab the cigarettes that were behind her and grab some cash. And she heard...
No, man, isn't this supposed to be a palate cleanser?
What? Well, no one dies. It's fine.
Okay, all right. Well, I'm intrigued. Keep going. Sorry.
So she hears a loud gunshot at extremely close range. Her ears are ringing and she's shaking with fear and adrenaline. And she turns around back to Derek, the gunman. And Derek had tried to place the semi-automatic handgun in his waistband to free up his hands for all the cigarettes and cash he's going to grab. When the gun accidentally goes off and he shot himself in the cock.
Okay, so how does that happen? So he stuck it in his waistband and the gun's just gone off by itself?
Yeah, or he pulled the trigger as it was pushing into the waistband. I don't know.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, there's CCTV footage of it as well. It's not very clear, but it's good to see. So
you need to send that to me.
Yeah, I will do. So he ran out of the store with the cash and the cigarettes. He goes to his grandma's house and his brother calls an ambulance and they come pick him up and they take him to hospital. He needed to have surgery because he blew off his right testicle.
Oh my God. What about the dick? Is that still intact?
I think so. I think the bullet went through his dick, his testicle, and then into his leg.
And he ran out of there. Like, that's some,
Yeah.
I would have been on the ground. I stubbed my toe and I'm on the ground screaming. I can't imagine blowing off my own testicle and just running out of a joint. I'd be looking at the clerk who I'd just try to rob and go, call 911.
Yeah. Do you have any Band-Aids?
Real high-pitched voice.
Yeah, that's right. So this guy, he ended up getting 6 years in jail as well for it.
Shit.
Yeah. Can you imagine his prison story? Hey, what are you in here for, Derek? Shot some guy in the cock. Really? Who? Me.
So he's basically a eunuch now.
Yeah, that's right.
Poor bugger. Oh, well, that's what you get. I mean, that reminded me of someone I heard from in the police who had a similar story where there was a crook that they knew and he thought he was a real gangster and he'd walk around with his firearm in his waistband and that same thing happened to him. He actually blew his dick and balls off and they had to go there and help him out. But being a crook, I think, fuck this guy, you deserve it.
Yeah, fuck him.
So it does happen. This isn't an uncommon occurrence.
That's so funny. I'm so glad it's happened to multiple people.
Oh, that's it. And I can't imagine life without my dick, let alone a nut.
Yeah, that's ultimate karma for a criminal, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Take that.
Oh, learn his lesson. That is massive karma. It's good to see that karma does exist for people like that.
Definitely, that's right. Well, this case today, speaking of no one getting murdered, amazing. No one
I
gets
know.
murdered, no one gets
And
abducted, no one gets sexually assaulted. It's so good, this episode.
Well, I'm hoping that we don't get some hate mail about it. It's like, oh man, I wanted to see some more kids getting killed. No, no, we're done our dash for kids being murdered for at least a week or two. I don't know what's coming up next, but yeah, we are doing something a bit different today. This documentary was called Unknown Number: The High School Catfish. And if you haven't seen it, you've probably been living under a rock. So we are going to play the preview for you now.
Close it? Yeah. The people in my high school I've grown up with since kindergarten, basically. I first met Owen in 7th grade.
They were just like a high school couple in a movie.
We were like best friends.
But the more friends you have, the easier it is to be betrayed by them. Something dangerous could happen.
A high school girl in Michigan was cyberbullied for more than a year.
And who turned out to be the suspect shocked everyone.
It was so bad to the point where I didn't want to even go to school anymore.
It was relentless. I mean, 1 a.m, 3 a.m.
I would question how I thought about myself.
There's some sick messages.
They were enough to make a 53-year-old man blush.
It's crazy how having a phone could become the worst thing that happened to me.
Things are about to get so much worse.
Sorry, not sorry.
Each and every day, I'd feel like I lose trust in everyone.
You had to be careful of every single word that you said, or else you could look guilty.
Really just all started to look like me.
She could be sending them to herself.
Everything was great, and then, things started happening.
The parents wanted to confront people and start pointing fingers.
When they involve the FBI, you can just see how fast this escalates.
They made quite a scene in school.
I wanted to try to protect her and keep her safe.
I found one phone number that kept coming up.
We gotta nail this son of a...
I really didn't know what to say.
This is disgusting.
No way.
Crazy that someone that close could do something like that.
So at the start of the documentary, we meet a young girl named Lauren Licari. She's from a small town in Michigan called Beale City, and she goes to Beale High School. Now, she pretty much explains that the town is very boring, nothing much to do there. Parents get involved in school drama. Everyone's on their phone. It's like everyone in that town lives on their phone because there's nothing to do.
I think she says that there's 1 stoplight and 2 bars.
My name's Lauren Licari. I grew up in Beale City, Michigan. Beale City is so extremely small. There's 1 stoplight and 2 bars. I go to Beale City High School. It's a really small school in a small area, and everybody knows everybody.
That just gives you a picture of just how small this town is, and everyone's all up in everyone's business. So they pretty much just state that right from the very start, just to paint a picture of the town and what we're dealing with. So we meet Owen, and Owen is Lauren's boyfriend, and he says he got a phone when he was 13 years old, and it was the worst thing to it ever happen to him.
I was 13 years old when I got my first phone. Everyone else had a phone, I wanted to fit in. I was getting to that age where, social media was really becoming popular, and I just wanted to be cool, It's crazy how having a phone could become the worst thing that happened to me.
We see it's October 2020. There's a Halloween party happening in town. Everyone seems to go to this party, and it's hosted by the same people. And we're talking about students, we're talking about parents. And Owen is invited to this party, but Lauren's not. But Owen's basically said, look, I'm going to invite you anyway. Okay, so she's a bit more of a recluse. She's more just into Owen. She has friends, but she's a bit more quiet. 2 weeks prior to the party, they get a weird text message, and it's in a group chat. And it basically says that Owen's going to be breaking up with Lauren at the Halloween party coming up. I'm going to see him there, and his DTF, which is down to fuck. And you think these kids are 13 years old.
I know. I was shocked at the age.
I wanted to ask you, Chris, do you reckon you were DTF when you were 13?
No way.
Actually, no, don't answer that, because I definitely know. Knowing you definitely were DTF at 13 years old.
Knowing me, swinging my hammer around to work.
Hi, Lauren. Owen is breaking up with you.
He no longer likes you and hasn't liked you for a while. It's obvious he wants me. He laughs, smiles, touches my hair. Not sure what he told you, but he is coming to the Halloween party, and we are both down to fuck. You are a sweet girl, but I know I can give him what he wants. Sorry, not sorry.
Lauren's thinking, like, who the fuck could this be? They pretty much can't think of anyone. And Owen asks a close friend of his, Chloe. She's the one that hosted the Halloween party, if she knows of anyone it might be, or it might be her. And she just like, I don't know. And pretty much straight after Halloween party, the messages seem to stop all of a sudden. There's nothing that's coming through.
After the Halloween party, the messages had kind of stopped and things seemed to get better.
Everything is normal, at the school. Like, everyone's friends, like, there was, like, no beef between anyone that would have started these messages.
I was actually excited about the new school year. But then after almost a year, the messages came back.
11 months later, the messages all of a sudden, they come back. And the texts seem to be a real ploy to try and break up Lauren and Owen. She thinks it's someone that she doesn't know because the phone number that appears in the text is not a number that's saved on her phone. So she would try and call the number. There would be no answer, of course, but then a text message would quickly follow up behind the call and say, stop trying to call me. I'm not going to answer the phone. But the text refers to Lauren as Lo. And that was a bit telling for her because only people that know Lauren call her Lo. It's like her nickname.
Lo, stop fucking calling. He ain't answering.
She's now receiving 5 texts a day on average, but there's one thing certain, she doesn't suspect Owen being involved. And this is where we hear about Owen and Lauren's relationship. We meet Lauren's dad, Sean, her mum, Kendra, Owen's mum, Jill, and the dad, Dave. And they are heavily involved in the documentary. You can see them sort of coming and going like throughout, particularly the mum, Kendra, and Owen's mum, Jill. So the family, they really click. The kids playing together, the parents are together, they do everything together, they go to ball games, they go to movies, and they believe that because Owen and Lauren are like the all-American couple, they just suspect it's jealousy coming from this person, most likely a student at school.
Lauren and Owen, they're always smiling and giggling together.
They were just like a high school couple in a movie. Their freshman year, they were referred to as the golden couple. I do think that there was some jealousy, in their class, maybe wanting a relationship or wanting boys to notice the girls. And, they both had that. I'm sure there was some of that.
Bill High School is prep to year 12, and we're talking about small country town. So everyone grows up together. There's only like 30 kids per class, yeah?
I was just going to say about the 30 kids per class, and it's prep to year 12. Could you imagine being stuck in 12 years of school with the same 30 turds year after year?
Probably prep to grade 6. It was small classes, the primary school I went to, and similar in high school, there wasn't that many kids in the class. I've still got friends today from kindergarten till now. I can sort of picture that. Even when I did go from primary school to high school, there was new people and all that, but I can sort of picture it.
If you get along with everyone, it's awesome. But if you don't, oh my God, what a nightmare. You can't hide from anyone. Like, it's just,
that's
your
true.
Business is out there for everybody constantly, being such a small town.
Yeah, and even worse if you've got a priest named Priest Hands.
Father Hands, excuse me.
Sorry.
Actually, I did mention to you the other day at work after I mentioned Father Prest that there is also another priest, and I feel like I shouldn't bring it up. I've done enough priest stuff already. But there's another one.
Hey? What was it? I want to hear it.
His name, and this guy, he was the principal. His name was Father Fox, and we used to call him Father Foxy. I shouldn't laugh because he actually did get arrested for kiddie fiddling, and he's in prison now. So shout out to Foxy if you're listening.
So yeah, there's only 30 kids per class, and everyone seems to have mini group chats going on. So all the kids are super close, and we meet friends Sophie and Macy. Now, they seem to be more friends with Owen. Owen is super popular. You can tell by watching the documentary that they seem to be all connected to Owen, but not so much Lauren. So that's evident here because
he seems like the quarterback of the football team type of guy, doesn't he? Gives you that sort of vibes.
Super popular. And I don't know if you noticed as well, all the kids are super good looking.
Oh, Calm down, Epstein.
You know what I mean, though? They just seem like the all-American kids that are involved in this scandal.
Yeah.
So now I've just lost my train of thought. Sophie and Macy, they're good friends with Owen, and Owen really confides in them, and they're all together. They're trying to figure out who's sending the text. It really consumes them. They start talking out loud around groups to see if anything later that they'd mentioned during the day comes up in text.
I never really suspected that it was the boys in our grade, just because the boys in our grade aren't super involved with people. They don't really care about drama.
Boys don't really have drama. We just play sports and have fun, that's all.
Usually there's a lot of mean girls.
I just want to try to narrow it down to a certain amount of people.
We would just like FaceTime each other at night and just talk about it and be like, okay, what came up in the text today? Like, who was around?
We're making like a list of what group it could be or who specifically it could be.
These kids are right on the ball,
That's
and
good,
it seems
yeah.
like they're going through this alone because they're not really bringing up the parents at this stage. They're just keeping it in-house, so to speak. Now, in the meantime, Lauren's feeling like she's being watched.
You know, like what I was doing in class, I feel like.
Fucking trash, bitch. Don't fucking wear leggings. Ain't no one want to see your anorexic flat ass. You are worthless and mean nothing. You never have. Get a fucking life out of here. Owen will never look at you again or talk to you. You fucked his life up so bad. His family fucking hates you for it, and he will never in his life acknowledge you again. Get the fuck lost, bitch. He's fucking done with you.
Poor Lauren, she starts obsessing about what she's going to wear to school. She's worried about her hair, and her self-esteem has taken a real hit from these text messages.
Yeah.
Imagine being called ugly and anorexic. We're talking about 14-year-old or so
yeah,
now.
That's right. High school is bad enough at that age, you know, let alone these texts from a random person. And the paranoia that constantly surround you as well. I mean, she's getting these texts at home and also while she's at school. And I think Owen mentions at some point, like, as soon as he gets a text at school, he's constantly looking around to see who's on their phone and who it might be.
Yeah, that constant paranoia would be horrible, let alone, like you said, other kids and just the pressures of being in high school in general, just horrible. So Lauren gets to the point where she needs to confine in mum and dad now. We've got Kendra, her mum, and Sean, her dad. And Kendra is saying, look, just ignore these texts. Just they shouldn't worry you. Just move on, and then if you ignore it, they'll stop. But the problem is the texts get worse and more explicit.
I told her just to keep being her and just not even worry about anything, right? I didn't believe anybody would do anything harmful.
And then it started to get worse and worse.
Owen and I down to suck finger fuck. His dick and fingers, my pussy and mouth.
His dick and fingers, my pussy and mouth. Who's writing these texts?
I know. These kids are fucking 13. It's just, Jesus Christ.
So you can see what I mean. They're really starting to get more explicit and a bit worse. They've gone beyond, Owen's going to break up with you and real petty to, this is getting a bit more full on now. Owen's getting to the point where he doesn't even want to go to school anymore, and he tells his parents, and they start taking his phone away from him at night just so they can see the volume and respond themselves. And the texts start coming in like 30, 40, 50 texts a day now.
That's crazy.
We've gone from like 5 a day to now up to 50 a day. So this is someone just completely obsessed with Owen and Lauren at this stage.
Yeah, I'd lose my shit. Fucking hell. Even at the 5 texts a day, that's way too much. Way too much.
Yeah.
I remember I was getting a stage where over a week or two, I was getting a phone call 3 p.m. every day from a telemarketer, and that was doing my head in. And I knew exactly what time was coming. I knew who it was. And that was even annoying enough.
It's like, no, I don't want fucking solar panels on my house. Leave me alone.
Yeah.
So, like, and let alone a kid dealing with this, but the parents obviously worrying about their children's welfare as well. I mean, they'd be freaking out. 4 of the parents all get together and they decide, fuck this. This is happening during school time as well. Let's go to the school and talk to them. And Kendra is basically saying, look, the school didn't handle it well at all.
We were hoping for some type of action, right? Because some of the messages were happening during school hours.
The school is responsible for them when they're on school property.
So we really thought the school would, kind of, let's see what we can do. Unfortunately, in my opinion, I don't think the school handled things very well.
All of a sudden, we're now 12 months into the harassment, and we meet Superintendent Bill Chilman, and
best name ever.
Yeah, Bill Chillman. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Every time I think superintendent, I think Superintendent Chalmers from The Simpsons as well.
Yeah.
Can't help myself. And we also meet Principal Dan Boyer, and they are shocked and appalled.
Thought we were going to be doing a typical cyberbullying type of investigation, which we handle a lot of, unfortunately, in schools today. Obviously, this situation turned out much different than most.
When they showed me some of the text messages, I was astounded by how vitriolic they were. I've never seen this kind of volume in my career.
You dressed like a fucking slut. You try and get attention? Fuck off. My fucking tits in his face. Fucking make him horny. Make it cream.
What in the world? They were vulgar and nasty enough in nature to make a 53-year-old man blush.
So another really amusing text here. My fucking tits in his face. Fucking make him horny. Make it cream. And like superintendent is like clutching at his pearls. Like, oh, even like a 40-year-old man making me blush, you know?
Oh, wish my wife texts me these.
So they think it could, like they bring in Lauren thinking it could possibly be her sending these texts to herself for attention. And it sort of checks out because one of the friends, Sophie, starts intentionally saying things out loud around different people to see what comes up in text later. But the only things that seem to come up is anything that's said around Lauren. You know, like I said before, Lauren's quiet, she's reserved, and they believe that it was just a way of getting that attention and getting closer to Owen. Even though they're boyfriend and girlfriend, it's a way to really isolate him because he, like we said earlier, he's super popular and she just wants him for himself. So this is the sort of theory they're going with.
Yeah, a bit of
moment.
attention-seeking sort of thing. I could see that. I could see why they went on that angle for sure.
We didn't know exactly what was going on, so we called Lauren in because we didn't know. She could be sending them to herself for attention, or we had no clue.
The superintendent basically tries to interview Lauren and Owen at the school, and he rules them out straight away. He figures, look, they were really candid with me. I believed everything they said. They seemed really nervous about it and upset. So he was like, okay, it can't be them. But they were really good. I thought the superintendent and the principal were right on it. They're checking surveillance videos at the school. So basically what would happen is Lauren would text the principal, hey, I've just got this message. The principal would jump on the computers and check all the cameras around the school with the timestamps to see which students were on their phone at that time.
Yeah, that made me laugh, though, because, I mean, they're all teenagers. They're all going to be on their phones. I mean, it's more chance that someone's not going to be on their phone.
Yeah, that's right. So, look, I just thought the effort was just really good. They were taking it seriously, and they were like, no one else is involved in the investigation at this stage. So I felt like they took it seriously and they wanted to do something to help.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
like we were saying, like it came up with nothing. It was really hard to determine like what someone was doing on the phone, even if you saw them on the phone. Like they could just be playing a game. They could be texting a friend.
Mr. Boyer wanted me to text him when I got a text message, so then he could see who was on their phone.
So that I would know, here's a timestamp, and we could begin checking cameras and looking to see if we see someone who excused himself from class.
They did all this, and they still couldn't come up with it. You know, they kept getting these text messages.
Because it's hard to say if they're sending a Snapchat or a harassing text when we're just looking at video.
Gets to the stage where like Kendra and Jill. So Kendra, I'm going to reiterate, is Lauren's mum, Jill, Owen's mum. Okay, they're in this together. They're good friends. They're sharing messages with each other during the day, what they've received. And they're at the school pretty much every day trying to get to the bottom of it, discussing ideas with the super and the principal. And basically the ideas that came up were, why don't you block the number? But the problem was that the serial texter was using a number generator, so every time it would be something different. So you couldn't just block one. It's like those telemarketers you were talking about earlier. They always have a similar number that comes up, and it's always different. So you block one, they just got a new one coming.
Yeah, I think they say later on in the documentary the app that is used for the number generator is called Pinger. And I was thinking, in terms of that app, what good does that app do? Do you mean, like, to me, it just seems like this app is only designed for this kind of situation.
Yeah, that's a good point. I hadn't really thought about it. It does seem like it's a tool that's going to be used for nefarious things.
Yeah.
There's nothing innocent about hiding and changing. I don't know. It could be like used for, let's just say police want to contact you. And rather than a blocked number, maybe they use these generators to give like a random number. That's the only thing I can really think of.
Yeah, true. But I mean, they're making this app public to anyone, I think you're only going to get dodgy people getting it.
Very true. And you're probably a bit naive because a lot of shit on the internet that's not made for good use.
I don't believe it. No, I'm not having it.
The other idea they had was, why don't you just change the kids' numbers? But the problem with that, Jill in particular was of the opinion, look, I sort of want these texts to keep coming through because I want to get to the bottom of who's been sending them. It's been 12 months at this stage and it's really had an impact on the families and the children. Well, if you just change the number and they stop, we never got to the bottom of it. We never found out who it was.
Yeah, she's worried that it might be someone that they've invited into their house as well. So they don't want to block it off. And these people are still able to come inside the house without them ever being able to find out. So this is kind of their only connection to be able to track the person down. So I could kind of get where she was coming from.
Yeah, I could as well. So she actually tries to enforce a cell phone ban at the school, and Superintendent Chalmers rejects it instantly.
I can't tell you the countless times just standing in the principal's office in tears going, can we please enforce a cell phone policy? Why does my kid have access to look at this when he should be learning?
I'm kind of all over the board with kids having phones at school because our cell phones, I mean, I use mine as a personal office. I work a lot from my phone. I know that they can be used in a classroom as an educational tool.
Can you imagine the outcry of all the other students and even the parents if their kids weren't allowed to use their phone at school? I mean, I know that kids in particular at our school, there's a cell phone ban. I don't know about yours.
Yeah, definitely a cell phone ban, yeah. I mean, they've got their laptops and everything like that for all the schoolwork and office work and stuff.
There's phones, I mean, these days are complete distraction at school. So, I mean, there could have been that option there for sure that could have been good, but it's not going to exactly stop the text, is it? They're just going to get to their phone later and there's going to be 100 texts there waiting for them anyway. So what is that really achieving? It gets to the point now where Lauren is starting to accuse Owen a little bit. She's starting to get messages that saying, hey, Owen and I are hanging out this Thursday night at this hotel and we're hanging out here.
We will win. I promise you. Owen doesn't like you. He doesn't love you. He wants sex, BJs, and making out. He don't want your sorry ass.
So me and Lauren were fine through the text messages, but then they started to make Lauren question herself and our relationship.
We stay in a hotel with him Thursday, and your sorry ass won't be there.
And then the texter was saying that we hung out.
So then I was like, okay, I don't even know if I could trust Owen anymore.
Pretty much puts so much of a strain on their relationship that Owen breaks up with Lauren. And he's at the opinion, like, if I do that, the text might stop. Yeah. Lauren's heartbroken. And Kendra is really upset for her as well because, she thought their relationship was beautiful and I think she really enjoyed seeing them together.
Yeah, it seemed like a really nice couple.
Yeah, she's crying and she said it just came like too much of a strain on their relationship.
Yeah, which is fair.
I talked to Lauren, just reminding her, you know who Owen is, and as a person, even if he didn't like you, he's not going to say these things. And unfortunately, it became a strain in their relationship.
The messages had just gotten to be too much, and I think that's really what the last several months of their relationship revolved around was, did you talk to this girl? Were you, with this person? Because it's a lot of lies.
So from there, the messages don't stop. They actually get worse.
Kill yourself now, bitch. His life would be better if you were dead.
So they've really escalated here. Lauren's mental state is at an all-time low now. The texter telling her, to kill herself, that is next level. That 12-month period, you can imagine that downward spiral for her. Now it's telling her to kill herself. I mean, that's pretty full on. And the parents start to really worry even more because they're thinking, what if the texts aren't enough for the serial texter and it's escalating? What could happen next?
What happens one day if this kid has enough of this and they're not getting the satisfaction or the reaction that they're wanting from the messages anymore? One day somebody's going to snap.
Yeah, I said, we gotta nail this son of a bitch.
Warning, you finish yourself before we do.
So actually interesting, wasn't the parents that make the next step and call the police. It was actually the school that contacts the police. I'm saying they were doing a lot to try and, get the investigation going, but they really go, you know what, we've done all we can do. Let's get the police involved. and we meet Officer Mike Main. He has a meeting with the parents. They are just pleading for help. And Main, I can see how this is a worry. He puts his hat on and he goes straight to the school and he's looking at, I believe it's close-knit groups of kids that are probably involved.
Yeah.
So he goes to the school like maybe once or twice a week and he conducts interviews with the kids.
How are things transpiring? Any different? Anything less, more, same?
Not as many messages.
Okay. Like I said, don't let it get you down. It's just garbage. Somebody needs some serious help. So we'll go from there.
So from here, Lauren starts getting texts that relate to her basketball games. If she did poorly, like get 0 points, the text later, oh, you suck, you should give up, not any good at basketball. And the details in the text are suggesting that Lauren's actually being stalked. So then that's sort of like escalating it even more because whoever is texting her is more than likely at these basketball games as well.
Lauren must be so freaked out, no matter where she goes, feeling like she's being watched, always looking over her shoulder.
And worried about what she looks like as well because she's getting called ugly, she's a whore, all these horrible things. Her self-esteem's already at an all-time low, and sports is her thing. She is a real athlete, and all these texts and bagging her out about basketball, it makes her want to give up on the things she loves. Yeah. She's already lost Owen, and now she's taken a back seat on sports as well, so her dad's really worried about her.
You're the worst. You should quit, get hurt, and be done.
The sad part is that, Lauren is a really good athlete, and she just, kind of gave up.
Maybe somebody watching the game could have been sending it.
Jill contacts Kendra because Kendra is actually a volunteer scorekeeper at the basketball games because Lauren gets this text regarding a certain player scoring 12 points. So then they look into the scores together and it reveals a teammate of theirs, Chloe Wilson, scored 12 points. So now we have a new suspect.
It's like, whoa, like, hold on. It can't be Chloe.
So there's a suggestion that Owen and Chloe were more than friends, and they're showing pictures of them like real cuddled up together. Like I said earlier, everyone's grown up together, and they were super close. But apparently, Chloe has a crush on Owen, and Lauren and Chloe never get along, and Chloe's this bitch.
Yeah, I'm really sus on Chloe here, actually. She seems to tick a lot of boxes, so I reckon she was the suspect number one for me.
Yeah, that's interesting because the documentary does a good job here at showing you a new suspect and really making you believe it's them. They do it again here with Chloe.
Yeah, I feel it's kind of like Murder in Monaco.
I was about to say the same thing.
And you know how easily swayed I am. So I'm jumping back and forth from kid to kid. You fucking son of a bitch. You're the one. You're the texter. Admit it. And then, oh, sorry, Chloe. All right, it's you, Lauren.
Yeah, that's it.
Can't wait for the next person to come on for me to yell at them.
Yeah, but you're accusing bloody Nicholas' mum and brother for murdering him on the imposter. I'm like, no, I don't think they had anything to do with it. I've been getting bloody bombarded with like messages and people going, "You're an idiot." Of course, it was their family were involved. You're sending me picture messages daily from messages you're getting. I get it. Okay.
I think the message today was JB is absolutely blind. How can you not think that they're involved?
I'm seriously getting reminded about it daily. No joke.
That was weeks ago. I'm telling you, I'm going to get T-shirts made up.
So now we meet Chloe's parents, Craig and Tammy, and they just look like no bullshit type of people, don't they? Like, we're very serious. And I don't know, that Chloe herself looks like a bit of a bitch, I'm going to be honest. But the mum and dad parents equally look as bitchy.
Oh, yeah, 100%. They remind me of, is it the O'Doyles from...
yeah, O'Doyle Rules.
What is it? Not
Billy
Happy
Madison?
Gilmore. Billy Madison, yeah, thank you. Yeah, the O'Doyle Rules.
Yeah, very, very similar vibes to that. And they basically explain that Chloe has had issues at the school, but that's because she's a leader, she's popular, and she's popular with even schools that are out of town. So they believe that it's jealousy.
Yeah. Whatever.
Were you going to say shut up and then you're going to say something?
Yeah, I was going to say...
you just look like you were about to burst with something that you needed to say about him.
I was going to say, the mum looks like she drives a Subaru Forester, by the way. Yeah. She looks like she has a lot of woodworking projects going on in the house.
There's a bit of a Ron Swanson vibe about her.
7th through 8th grade, there was just multiple allegations against Chloe where she was bullying or she wasn't being nice to this person. The principal called Chloe in constantly, and she's like, I'm not doing anything.
She was a leader. At the time, she had a huge friend group that spanned, to several other schools. And, so I think that to some people, I'm not going to say they were offended by that, but maybe they wanted that sort of thing for themselves.
So look, Officer Main starts looking into Chloe because she's looking like a really good suspect, just like you were saying. You're dead set it's her. So she's the one that has the Halloween party at her house. So he decides to interrogate her.
Tell me your story. Let's hear it.
Okay. So I didn't know about all the stuff that was happening until probably on volleyball season. I would just hear little things here and there from Owen. I didn't really talk to them that much at all. Really, I'm not close with Lauren. And then it started getting blamed on me.
There's 348 pages. They're nasty. I mean, they're past harassment. This is stalking. I just want to get it stopped. It's got to stop.
Well, I don't have anything to do with it. I'm with people all the time, and if something were happening like that, someone would see it.
Now, Chloe, she's the first to admit she's not close to Lauren. And the parents were worried that Chloe would actually get away with what she's done because her dad's a police officer. So there's a bit of a fight going on with the parents here, clearly between Chloe's parents, Lauren's parents, Owen's parents. There's a bit of bickering back and forth because they feel like she's the one and she's getting away with it. This forces Officer Main to sort of look into the group of girls. And you got Chloe, Sophie, and Macy. Right. And there's another potential suspect here with Sophie because they reckon that Sophie's also got a thing for Owen. It's a really incestuous school. Everyone seems to be into Owen. I think I might be into Owen by this stage. And look, Sophie's mum's not happy about it because Sophie gets interviewed by Officer Main as well. So she decides to take matters into her own hands. She takes Sophie's phone away from her and she goes through all her messages. She's talking to Jill. And it sort of gets to the point where you think maybe the whole friendship group is involved somehow because they're at the school, they're all on their phones together, and Lauren's starting to suspect that as well.
Yeah, I think the text, they start to change into we as well. So we want you dead and we want you this. And so I think that's why they're suspecting the group too.
Chloe, Macy, Sophie, we're always in a certain area, just all huddled up together on their phones.
We will make every day fucking miserable for you.
It seems just like wherever the investigation is going, that the texts seem to evolve into that. It's very fluid. So it's almost like the texter knows what's going on in the inside, and he's using information to make it sway one way or the other. So the parents are starting to get really pissed off at the school. They want to get more involved in the investigation, and they want to talk to the basketball coach, and they say to him or her, we want you to go through all the kids' phones on the team and check their messages. But that's a real invasion of privacy, isn't it? As a kid, you wouldn't want your basketball coach to be looking through your phone.
No
and
way.
The superintendent, Chalmers, agrees as well. He says, there's no chance we're doing that.
Parents wanted to come into classrooms and they wanted to get involved in the investigation themselves, have these group meetings and confront people and start pointing fingers. We told the parents, I told them point blank, that isn't going to go how you think it's going to go.
Meanwhile, all this is happening and Owen is trying to get Chloe to confess because, like you said, he is very close with Chloe. But it turned out that Jill had been sending texts to Chloe, pretending to be Owen, to try and get a bit of a confession out of her. And this is where we meet Chloe.
Owen said something to me first. Are you doing this? And something like that. I was just like, no. After a while, I kept getting asked more and more because after I got asked once, it really just all started to look more and more like me.
So Chloe actually concedes that the evidence is actually pointing at her. She's like, it really does look like it could be me. And the one thing that was really telling was Owen and Lauren start receiving text messages that have an area code that comes from Florida only an hour after Chloe had arrived in Florida with her family. So they're really looking at Chloe now. It's like, this has to be her, but that seems really obvious. They get back and Chloe gives her phone to the cops. They do a phone dump on it, complete forensics check into her phone, and nothing. It's obvious to them that it's not her and that Chloe's getting framed.
Bitches, I talked police yesterday. They fucking kept my phone, fucking searched it, copied it. Found nothing bad.
Chloe was searched by the police, her phone was dumped, and we kept on getting messages saying that she got her phone dumped. It was weird because if Chloe was the one texting, why would she reference herself?
And then they're starting to send texts with photos of Chloe in the photos, and it's just making it obvious to them that it's not her, because why would the serial texter be implicating themselves?
Exactly.
So Maine's going back to the drawing board. He's thinking, okay, I'm going to look through all these messages, and he says there are about 1,000 pages of text, and he discovers a photo throughout all these text messages, and it turns out that this photo was taken at a Christmas party, and they believe whoever was responsible for taking this photo would have had to have been at the party.
A few weeks prior, there was a text message conversation about a sweatshirt and a phone case. And a picture had been taken. And that picture was sent to Owen and Lauren from this perpetrator.
Bruh, Louie digging his new black phone case for real.
It was very alarming because the only people that would have been able to even take that picture at our family Christmas were obviously people that were there with us, which would just have been our families.
Now, they start looking at everyone that's in the party, and there's only one other person that they could think of because it's another classmate of Owen, but it's his cousin, Adriana. Now, Adriana, she's really quiet. She's a bit of a nerd. She's not one of the cool kids by any sense of the imagination. So she's really reserved, and she believes Chloe dislikes her a lot.
There was a couple of times I did not want to go to school. It was a very stressful time for me. I was on the volleyball team with Chloe, Macy, and Sophie. They had like their group, and if you weren't part of that group, you were considered what I call the outsiders. And if you were an outsider, they weren't nice to you. It makes you feel like the entire world is going against you. Like it feels like there is no way out. There was no good days I had at that point. I didn't tell anybody. My mom had noticed it, and she spoke up. She made a Facebook post. It wasn't calling anybody out or anything. She was just saying, this is what my kid is going through. We need to get this fixed type thing. And after that, I wouldn't say it spiraled, but it didn't get any better.
I felt so sorry for Adriana. She's definitely not part of it. And you could see it's still affected her. I mean, I don't know how long this documentary was made after it happened, but years later, you know. And she said she didn't like high school at all. She's just trying to keep a low profile. And she's getting dragged into this bullshit. It's just terrible.
Yeah, you sort of picture the movie Mean Girls, because that's what it was like for Adriana. She was a bit nerdy, and she still looks a bit nerdy today, even with the interview. She's got braces, you know, she still looks like a little kid. And I felt really sorry for her as well, because Officer Main really grills her, thinking it had to be her, and she developed a distrust in police after that.
Yeah.
And not long after they accuse her, she starts getting text messages from the serial texter as well.
After I had talked to Sheriff Main, there was one day I was standing in the living room with my parents, and I got a message from an unknown number.
Hey, Adriana. Owen needs your help. We need to get Lo gone away from him. Tell his parents Lo a bitch. Fucked up his life. You hate her too.
I was terrified. As soon as I got the message, I dropped my phone. I cried. Like, I was bawling my eyes out. Like, I was terrified. I was really worried about, like, who is this person? Why do they have my phone number? It was scary because I didn't think that it would ever happen to me.
So everyone's gone off Adriana now. She was looking like she could be a potential suspect, but now that's gone. And look, tensions are really growing between Kendra and her husband, Sean. They got financial struggles. They're not sleeping. Jill as well. Owen's mum is losing her mind.
Yes, Lauren was a priority, and I spent tons of time with her. But unfortunately, Sean wasn't made a priority.
Kendra and I were always arguing and fighting, and then we all of a sudden we had to start moving from place to place. Went through 4 houses, through all this mess.
It just, led to financial struggle, worse financial struggles than we were already in.
I mean, there's like no way to just track this when they send the messages in. I mean, they're doing it. They're like taunting me right now about the police. Like, it's. I just can't.
Did you get Owen a new phone?
No,
Okay.
he just doesn't have one at the moment. Like a week or so ago, maybe I think it was 2 weeks ago now, they would not leave Owen alone. So he sent us this message that said, I hope you people know that you make me feel suicidal.
I don't know if he didn't actually spell it out correctly, but that's what he responded, which totally put me over the edge.
So Jill says she's going to the papers, but because cops, all they're saying to her is like, get a new phone. And for her, that's not good enough. She wants them to step it up. So Maine actually does get off his ass and actually do something about it. I think he's gone through everything he can do. And he gives the file to an FBI liaison officer, Bradley Peter.
In April of 22, Sheriff Mike Maine requested some assistance in a case he was investigating. He gave me a thumb drive that contained 720 pages of messages.
Brad was appalled at the messages and the lack of help.
I've seen cases like this where the victim can't handle anymore and they commit suicide, unfortunately.
So Officer Maine sends Brad this thumb drive containing 720 pages of messages. I can only imagine going through all those texts. And I could also imagine having a bit of a giggle as well, even though the seriousness of them.
It's funny when it's not you.
Yeah, that's right. So, and look, Brad is appalled at the lack of help that the parents have had from the school and even Officer Maine, even though I was saying the school had done sort of all they could, but they really feel like Officer Maine's sort of dropped the ball here and something could have been done by now. So he does a full extraction of Owen's phone and he's sort of not accusing Owen, but he's looking for clues, like geographical type of clues to where the text might be coming from, but he finds nothing.
I did perform a full extraction. So basically, messages, pictures, emails, geolocations is presented to me in separate files. But I was not able to find anything that was linking any of his friends that may be sending these messages, so I didn't really gather anything new after doing a phone extraction.
It's now been 19 months of this harassing text coming through. 19 months is so long. Can you imagine 19 months of getting like up to 50 messages a day? That is next level. And Owen starts dating a new girl, and she lives 2 hours away. So she has nothing to do with Beale, their high school or anything. And the new girl's mum starts receiving texts from the serial texter. And you're thinking,
that's crazy, isn't it?
What the fuck?
She's so far removed. How does the texter find her?
That's right. And you've got to think, well, that has to be someone close to the family to be able to know that, but then have the ability to find the number of this new girl's mum to be able to text her. And you don't meet anyone from this family. You don't meet the mum. You don't meet this new girlfriend because basically it ends before it even starts because the girlfriend breaks up with him over it. And Owen's devastated. You know, he just feels like he can't move on with his life and he's changing as a kid. Jill notices he's getting aggressive at basketball and it's starting to have a profound impact on him.
I just felt like I couldn't do anything anymore. I had no freedom. I felt like I couldn't date anyone. I mean, because I was putting them in danger and it just... I don't want to put them through the same thing Lauren went through. It would eat me alive. Like each and every day I'd feel like I lose trust in everyone.
So Brad, our FBI mate, starts looking into the numbers that have been coming through. And you were saying about that number generator, and you mentioned it earlier. It was coming from a company called Pinger.
Yeah.
So he gets a search warrant for them, and he manages to get a hold of IP addresses. Now, IP addresses are linked to a business called Horizon. We don't have Horizon here, but I know it's an American company with like phones and everything. Yeah. So he has to get another search warrant for Horizon, and that search warrant results in a phone number being linked to that IP address. So he starts talking to Lauren and Owen and says, look, give me the numbers of your friends and anyone that you think is a suspect, and I'll have a look at them side by side to this number and see if I can figure out who it is. And none of the numbers match. So he's like, fuck, what else can I do? And he goes, you know what? Give me everyone's number in town. I will look through every single one of them, and it pays dividends, and it matches to one person. And that one person, Lauren's mum, Kendra.
I really didn't know what to say.
Brad got back a hold of me and said, the only phone number on all these pages out of everybody you've sent me that matches is Kendra's phone number. And I said, it's not her. He's like, do you think there's a possibility it could be her? And I said, no. She's helping me. She's Lauren's mom. I said, it's not her.
I can't believe it's her. That fucking blew my mind. But the fact that she's in the documentary the entire time, sitting there saying, I don't think the school did enough. Like, we wanted this. They weren't doing shit. We want to catch this person. It was you the whole time. You're fucking sitting there on the couch, you fucking idiot.
The documentary did such a good job. And that really played us for fools because you did not see it coming. She is literally crying at one point, upset about Lauren and Owen breaking up. And she seems heartbroken. Like you said, the school's not doing enough. Yeah. Fucking psychopath.
Oh, God, yeah. Is it just me or does she look like Quasimodo?
That's a bit rough, mate. Quasimodo would be offended by that. I totally agree with you. And you know what? I've come up with this joke today, and she is so ugly that the Elephant Man would pay to see her. And here's the thing. She's got a face that's, I don't know, it's almost like it's a bit squished up, just like Quasimodo's
It's
is.
exactly like it. We'll do a side by side on the social.
Yeah, that's right. You see photos of her when she was slightly younger, and it looks like she's changed. And it's almost like that old wives' tale that if you make a certain face and the wind changes, you're going to be stuck with that face for your life. Because that's what it looks like. It looks like she pulled a face, the wind changed, and now she's stuck with this fucking ugly mug for the rest of her life. Yeah. And she deserves all the hate that she's getting from us right now because the things that she said to her daughter, and you heard them throughout the documentary with our audio clips, she deserves all the hate in the world for this.
Oh, fuck yeah.
And I do not get her going, yeah, okay, I'll be on the documentary either. We can talk about this bit later on, but it's just insane to me that she would even agree to be on this documentary. I bitch in the past about any fuckwit being involved in a scandal or being the arsehole, not being involved in the documentary. She's all in on this.
Yeah. I had to Google how much she got paid for it, and she didn't get paid anything for it. It just blew my mind. What was the reason for it?
I think attention. She's got some mental issues, clearly.
100%. Yeah, she definitely does. Just to go through some of the texts that now knowing that it's the mum, she sent to Lauren, "You're the ugliest person I've ever seen. You fucking trash bitch. Don't fucking wear leggings. No one wants to see your anorexic flat ass. Kill yourself now, bitch. Life would be better if you were dead." These are things that she sent to her 13 and 14-year-old daughter.
Yeah, this normal text that a mum sends to her daughter. This loving messages.
With a little XX at the end of it.
Yeah, just trying to better herself, Fucking terrible, man.
Oh,
so
God.
this is like this bombshell, and Brad informs Jill. And you imagine that moment for Jill. I mean, she's a good friend of hers. She's Owen's mother. And they have been in this together since the start. So you're almost coming up 2 years of going back and forth, going to the school together, trying to figure this out together, and the heartache for the kids. Yeah. And obviously the mental state for Lauren, but also the mental state of Owen. And that is insane. And she actually, Owen mentions that he was going through a depressive state and had those suicidal thoughts as well.
How could
Can you imagine
not?
if either one of those kids had committed suicide over this? It could have been so much worse. So we're now 20 months in, and the FBI meet with Officer Main and give him the evidence. They pretty much just go, hey, we've done all the work, and they handball it over to him for him to clean it up, right? And Officer Main himself, he's in disbelief as well. And it sort of makes sense to him now. You talk about hindsight, and you start to piece things together. And he was thinking, oh, Kendra used to be really involved in the investigation. I mean, obviously she was involved in trying to sort it out, but she always, almost daily, wanted to know where he was and what evidence he had. And it sort of made sense to him that she was trying to insert herself so she knew how to change the text. Like we said, it seemed to be very fluid. But also, if she was getting maybe close to being caught, that she might have to back off.
Yeah, trying to control the narrative a little bit.
Yeah, exactly right. So this is where we meet prosecutor Dave Barberi. But this is actually a prosecutor that we like for a change. He just seems like a normal prosecutor. We don't hate him. He's nice. He looks like a used car salesman, but he's very nice. And he looks through all the evidence and he gives the okay for Officer Main to do a search warrant at Kendra and Sean's house.
When the sheriff came to me and said, hey, we've identified the mom as a potential suspect, I said, you gotta be shitting me. No one in their right mind would have thought that a mother would do this to a child. When we get involved, our role is typically to review a search warrant. The sheriff approached me and said that we may need a search warrant for the electronics belonging to Miss Licari. You start to look at it and you say, she's involved as a coach at the school. She's got an IT background. She's always around when the kids are receiving these text messages.
He's saying this is not a straightforward case as well, because yes, we have a phone number that's connected to an IP address and it's her number, but it's not really proof that she was the one doing it, and they want a confession.
Hi, Kendra.
We got to have a conversation.
Okay.
And I have a search warrant.
Okay.
For your devices and your phones.
Okay.
All right. So I want to go in and sit down and talk. Is anybody else here?
Lauren is.
All right. I'd rather Lauren stay in her bedroom. You have a place to sit down and just have a chat?
Yeah.
Your phone on you?
Yeah.
Here's the search warrant.
Do you have any other devices you use? Do you have a laptop?
My computer is outside.
Where is it at?
On the back porch.
So this is the deal. When we were doing the investigation and the FBI got involved, we come up with some stuff that comes back to you.
What do you mean?
The messages coming and originating from you.
No.
Every message that went to the kids, your number come back through Pingree or whatever it is, the app that's tried to hide it. Your number, even though it was being hid, showed up every single message.
My number?
Yep. Does it have to do with Owen? Is there an infatuation there with Owen?
No, nothing like that.
Okay, then just tell me what did he treat Lauren bad? I mean, something serious, because it went on for a while, right?
Yeah, and it didn't start that way.
And I'm sure it didn't.
I don't even know.
That's okay, just start from the beginning. So they were dating, and then they broke up. So how did it really start? Like, why did it start did it start during when they were still dating?
It did.
Was he treating you bad?
But it didn't, the first ones didn't start, with me.
Okay.
I will say that. Those ones were, random or whatever.
So somebody else started those, you don't know?
But then I, fed off of it some.
So Kendra here, she's pretty quick to admit fault in a sense at the start, but she's quick to also deny that she was a part of it initially. Like the texts at the start weren't her, which is, and we'll get more into that later because she does explain herself, but I'm thinking that doesn't make any sense. And the officer flat out just asks her, were you infatuated with Owen? He must have felt like there had to be an infatuation there with how the texts were and the very sexual type of stuff that she was saying.
Yeah.
And she flat out denies it. And of course she's going to deny it. And really interesting here, and you would have noticed it as well, but Kendra is being accused and she's admitting to fault, but Lauren is right there as well.
Yeah,
so now Lauren has found out that her mum's the one that's been sending her texts for 20 months. Lauren doesn't seem to react to it.
Yeah, she seems almost stunned or a bit disconnected from it. I thought her reaction was a bit odd.
And I thought the same, and I was watching with my wife as well, and I'm like, her behavior doesn't seem right to me. And when I say right, I mean, it felt to me that she already knew.
Right, like she had a bit of an inkling or she knew the whole thing?
I couldn't tell you. Maybe not even an inkling, like that she had found out before or she was in cahoots. I really don't know. Because she seems way too calm. If this had affected her as much as she says it affected her, right? And she's just found out the closest person in her life, her mother, who's been who she confides in, has been saying these awful things and telling her to kill herself, is now responsible, and she allows Kendra to even cuddle her while this is happening, and she's not backing off. You know, I was expecting a bit of a reaction from Lauren here, like a bit of a "ooh, don't touch me," even if it wasn't a "get off me." There's nothing, and she even allows her to touch her hand, her leg, and she touches her mum back. It's very, very odd behaviour, and like you said, she might have just been a deer in headlights. And
I think she's a really sweet kid. Yeah, just trying to process everything that's going on. She's obviously strongly manipulated by her mum. And you can see that as soon as the cop's about to tell Lauren what's going on, she stands up and she hugs Lauren by the head.
She almost got her in a headlock.
Yeah, that's right. And it's all like, oh, mummy's here type of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I think she's been controlled like that her entire life. And she was trying to do that at that point as well. And Lauren, I don't think it was fair that they told Lauren while Kendra was standing right next to her. I don't think she was given a fair chance to process it or to react how she normally would.
Do you have any other electronic devices you use?
Do you want me to go out and talk to Lauren?
Can we just bring her in?
Yeah. Miss Lauren, can you come in? How are you doing today? Good. Your mom comes back out. We're going to chat for a few minutes, okay? All right, Miss Lauren, so I'm just going to start the conversation. You guys have been under a lot of stress lately, some moves going on, some financial issues and everything else going on. Mom got wrapped up into some stuff, and she didn't start it, but continued it. So we found some evidence, and we have a search warrant. We're going to take her phone and stuff. Sometimes when we're not thinking straight, we do some things that aren't right. Your mom doesn't want this to get out, but it is some public information, so it's not going to not get out. I just want to be honest about it, all right? She said you had no idea what was going on, and I believe that. What has to happen now is I have to make sure you and your mom are safe before I leave. So I'd like you to call your dad so maybe he can come home and meet with us, okay?
So Kendra has given her phone and her laptop to the cops, and they contact Sean and say, Sean, you need to get here. They meet Sean out in the front, and Sean finds out, and he is pissed, isn't he? He's next level. And one of the first things he says is, what did you get from her? And they're like, well, we got her phone. He goes, oh, well, she's got multiple phones.
Yeah.
And that was very telling as well. She didn't give up that phone initially, and they have to confront her again going, hey, where's your other phone? So she ends up giving that up. And this is where we also find out that Kendra has been lying to Sean. I talked about financial strain earlier and about the tension and the fights. Kendra had recently, she told Sean that she had recently quit her job, but it turned out that she had been fired, and it had been fired about a year prior. So she hadn't worked for a year, and both Sean and Lauren believed she was going to work every day. So she's not only lying about these texts and doing what she's doing, but lying to her family, and he's just distraught. And he basically says to the cops, she needs to go. Otherwise, I'm going to end up in jail tonight as well.
I think that was really good of him. He was able to control his emotions a lot better than I thought he would. I felt so bad for him. He's a really good guy. He must have been thinking, like, for the whole 2 years of the text messages, go, fucking, as soon as I get hold of whoever's sending these texts to my daughter, I'm going to fucking wring their neck. And then for him to find out it's his wife, he's like, fucking, it was you the whole time, Quasi? I should have fucking left you in the tower, you dumb bitch. He was like fucking fuming.
But then the double whammy of finding out that she's been lying to him about the financial stuff as well, about going to work every day.
So what happened first? Tell me the truth.
It's time to get it off your shoulders.
I go and ask it when they leave. I'll probably go to jail. So tell me how.
I got let go from it.
Yeah. What about the Texas job? You still have that, or you got terminated from that?
I don't have that.
You don't have that either?
No.
So when did you get let go from that?
A while ago.
Are you fucking telling me the truth? Or are you lying?
Oh.
When did you get let go from there?
Same time.
So you've been lying to me for like 6 months, a year, and you haven't been working for Texas?
Right.
Okay, you need to go somewhere tonight. I don't know where you gotta go, but she's gotta go. You need to call your parents. Have them come to me. Because this is it. I can't do it anymore. The other house, this house, now I know what the truth is. And having her in the middle, this is not good. Okay, you need to call your parents. Here's my phone. You need to go. You need to call your parents. No. Well, he's here. No. You need to go. You gotta go.
So he had, in the process of this, had to sell some things that are important to him as well. They sort of just go into that briefly, but like his world's been turned upside down at this point.
Yeah, well, I think they said that they got evicted from 2 houses, and then they were forced to put all their stuff into a storage locker, and then she didn't pay the storage locker fee, so then they lost all of their stuff in the locker as well.
Yeah, things like trophies and like sports memorabilia, shit like that was...
all the stuff that actually matters, yeah.
Had tools in there, like for his work, everything was all gone because...
That's right, it's a whole livelihood. I was looking at the house where the police came and told Kendra and Lauren. It's like, fuck, this is a really nice house. It's like, it's right on the lake.
They got a massive caravan at the front.
Yeah, I was like, God, they're not doing that bad. But
yeah,
apparently that's his parents' house.
Yeah, that explains it, yeah.
Did you see all the alcohol on the table behind them?
I didn't.
It's like an entire dining table, like bottle to bottle. Like there must have been 150 bottles of alcohol on this table.
He needed the beer goggles every night to look at this woman in the eye. Fucking Quasimodo.
Definitely. Yeah, Jesus. Lauren must be looking at her going, oh my God, is that my future?
Yeah.
Come on, Dad, bring your jeans in.
I need those good jeans. So anyway, Sean's a broken man. Jill is disgusted as well. She feels a massive betrayal. And here's where the documentary goes back to Kendra being interviewed. And it's just like this awkward point. It's like, okay, cat's out of the bag now.
You guys are going to think I'm the crazy lady. Oh, it was a very high emotional day in our house. A day of confusion, unknown answers, shock, a day of not even knowing how we move forward to the next day. So it was a hard day, but at the same time, it was an end.
I think the shock feeling turned into sad, which turned into mad, which turned into crazy. I don't even know how to describe the feeling. Why would my mom do this? But, like, did she really actually do this? Like, I can't believe it, honestly. I was just really confused.
And she tries to explain herself like people make mistakes. And this infuriates you because her reasons, her rationality here makes no sense, right? She's like, well, some people drink drive, you know, and that's basically the same thing and they don't get caught, but then they do get caught. What the fuck? She's like, people don't really know me.
Every single one of us makes mistakes. Not a single one of us has lived a perfect life. And realistically, a lot of us have probably broke the law at some point or another and not got caught. I mean, I'll be honest, you know, I'm sure people drove drunk, haven't been caught, right? But again, if you get caught, you're in the same situation I'm in, but for a different thing. So I do feel that, you know, people lose sight of that. I know to some, I'm a headline, I'm a villain, I'm a bad mom, I'm a whatever. But that's because they know one little piece of my story. They don't know my whole story.
Don't even know what she was trying to say.
I think she was trying to come up with something on the fly and she couldn't think of anything. Or nothing from this point on in the documentary makes any sense whatsoever. And I think maybe that's why she agreed to be on the documentary in the first place, because maybe she could explain herself in a public forum, because a lot of people are going to be watching this, but it actually made her look worse.
Yeah, that comment alone showed that she didn't have any regret at all. It's just the fact that she got caught.
Yeah, that's exactly right. And this is where we meet her cousin, Melissa Perry, and we get a bit more of an insight into Kendra, who she is as a person anyway.
A dick. Leave that in.
I will.
Kendra's mom and my mom are sisters. They were the only two kids, so we were pretty close growing up because it was just the two of them. She was fun, outgoing, like the life of the party. We've been on tons of cruises, probably about 6 or 7 cruises, some girls' cruises, some family cruises. She does like attention, I think. If she was here right now and you were talking to me, she would be dancing over there to try and get you to look at her.
So yeah, Melissa's basically saying what we sort of already knew. She just seems to be a massive attention seeker, but she also goes into nice things about her too. She's caring. She'd be the first person you'd call if you needed something. She'd be there for you. And she was sort of like that all throughout this. She's sending the text, yes, but she's also being there for everyone else. And she's a volunteer with the basketball. She's heavily involved in the school. So she has a real Jekyll and Hyde type of personality. So she was able to hide what she was doing really well because people think she's going to work and she's got all this time to send these texts, but she's involved in the school. So no one would have ever suspected her from the start. So from here, Kendra is explaining herself again, and she's denying sending the initial text. Now, it's Halloween. She claims that the reason why she started was because she wanted to know who was sending the original text.
I really wanted to get to the bottom of who it was, right? And that's when I started sending the text messages to Lauren and Owen. I was sending the messages in hopes that maybe they would send back asking, is this somebody or is this so-and-so, to just kind of give me something, right? And then also hoping that as they maybe talked about the messages amongst like their friend groups and stuff, that something might come up that could help pinpoint, you know, where they were originating from.
Makes zero sense.
Makes zero sense. And she goes on with this sob story about trauma and all this bullshit and how she let this thing consume her. And they start talking about the text messages she's been sending about being thin and anorexic. And she's like, yeah, I know that Lauren is thin. I sort of picked up on some of those insecurities, but I wasn't targeting that. And I'm like, well, what was the purpose of it?
That's exactly what you're doing.
Producer gives her a bit of an out here, and she asks her directly, were you sending those texts to yourself in a way? And she's like, yeah, I think I was, because I was like super thin and all this type of stuff.
I hated that the producer said that.
Yeah, don't give her an out. She's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Let her sit in silence. Just stare at her until she starts talking shit, because that's all she's been doing up until this point.
Lauren knows she's petite. She knows she's small. She knows she's thin. So I might have kind of picked up on some of her insecurities. Her appearance, her hair, her looks, her. But honestly, the messages weren't really targeted at her insecurities.
At you? Like, were you sending these messages to yourself?
That very well, possibly, because I was way too thin. I was not eating, so you could put me in that anorexic category.
So the text saying, ugly bitch, kill yourself. She also defends herself here, saying that, well, I knew that Lauren would never, ever do that. So I wasn't worried.
Yeah, that whole thing's a crock of shit. Like, there was an American named Megan Mayher, this 13-year-old girl, and she was being cyberbullied via MySpace. Exactly the same sort of situation. She didn't know who it was either. It ended up being the mum from next door, and the young girl, Megan, she ended up killing herself 3 weeks before her 14th birthday because of this fucking cyberbullying. So for Kendra to say, oh, no, she wouldn't do that, how the fuck does she know?
You don't really, you know your kids and you live with them, but you don't really know what's going on inside their brain, inside their bedroom, in a dark, isolated place. You don't know where they're going to go, in their mind, and how dark they're going to get. And
that's right,
kids are also very spontaneous. They act out of emotion, impulse. So for her to say that, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
No, you
2
should
years
never
of
have done
telling your
it.
daughter to go kill herself. Nah, she's fine. She's all right.
Yeah, don't justify your bullshit.
Were you afraid she was going to hurt herself? Because there were messages telling her to kill herself.
So I can say I was not scared of her hurting herself. And I know some people may question that or diminish that or whatever, but I know Lauren and I know the conversations that her and I had. But if I didn't know her as well as I did, it might be different.
So look, the Superintendent Chalmers actually believes this is a case of cyber Munchausen. I've never heard that before. I know Munchausen.
Oh, really?
By proxy.
By proxy, yeah.
I've never heard of cyber Munchausen.
Oh, that's
before.
New and improved, JB.
Yeah, so that was a new one for me. And basically he mentions that it's because she wanted Lauren to need her mum. If you start sending these texts and the one person that Lauren's going to go to is her closest ally, which is her mum. That's the one she's going to confide in. And imagine Kendra being that attention seeker that she is, would have loved that attention she was getting from Lauren, or being able to coddle her and be her mum in those situations. So that seems valid to me.
Yeah, I swayed between Munchausen by proxy and just also an obsession that she had about Owen as well. So I swayed between those two things a lot.
That has to be something to do with that, doesn't it? The Owen thing, that really creeps me out.
Especially for how sexual those texts were that she was sending them.
One of the texts that I specifically remember, she said something about a blowjob and how Owen doesn't like Lauren anymore because Lauren doesn't give him blowjobs. That little girl was 14 years old. She shouldn't be doing that. So I think it gave Kendra a false sense of Lauren and I are friends. She needs me. And I mean, you do as a teenager, you do need your mom, but not in that way.
News of the arrest, because she's been arrested now, is really getting around town, and it's getting around school, and it's now on the news.
A high school girl in Michigan was cyberbullied for more than a year.
And who turned out to be the suspect shocked everyone. Prosecutors accusing a mother of catfishing.
Catfishing.
Kendra is now in court, and she is actually banned from contacting all the victims that are associated with the case. But you got to remember, that also includes Lauren herself. And the defense are trying to get this ban lifted because, they're just doing their best for Kendra, being the defense lawyers. But Lauren is actually sending letters to the judge, and they're presenting them to say, I want to see my mum. I want to talk to my mum.
Yeah, she's such a sweet girl. She's so young and innocent. I don't think it's really sunk in exactly how much she's been manipulated her entire life.
Yeah, or I was correct in saying, and we're going to have to do a poll on this, that she knew beforehand, that she actually may have been involved in this in some
Okay, yeah, all right, that's a good
sense.
poll.
Let's do a poll.
I don't think she was involved or
Yeah,
knew
okay.
about it or involved, yeah.
So Team
beforehand.
Chris and Team JB, please vote for me on
You know what to do, listeners.
So from here, Kendra actually pleads guilty to 2 counts of stalking a minor, and those 2 counts relate to just Owen and Lauren. On the 26th of April in 2023, they have the sentencing, and Kendra is really convincing in the courtroom. She does this whole spiel.
I am sorry, Your Honor. I am sorry for my behavior to Owen McKinney and his family. I'm sorry for my behavior to Chloe Wilson and her family. I am sorry to my daughter, Laura. I have learned that I have a mental illness, and I was unaware that I was in crisis for many years. I have learned to acknowledge and cope with my childhood trauma.
This is a really good moment too, because Jill hasn't spoken to Kendra since this whole thing blew up, since she found out about it. And Jill and Owen actually are able to give impact statements and really eyeball Kendra in the court. And I really enjoy her squirming in her seat at this particular moment, because Jill really looks at her in the eye.
Looks her in her one good quasi eye.
I didn't get to speak with Kendra from the time she confessed until that day in court. It was the only thing we were going to get to do because we didn't get to go to trial and speak. So it was our one chance.
I will never forget the sick feeling that overcame me the day we found out. The hurt, anger, betrayal, sadness all hit me at once. I have waited years for this moment. The day that you could look me in the eye and tell me why. Was it worth it? Was all of this worth it?
The judge has heard the sob story from Kendra, but he does not give a fuck. And he actually gives one of the harshest sentences that he could give, and that is a sentence of 19 months jail. So Jill actually believes Kendra is actually obsessed with Owen. You mentioned before that being a motive for all this. And Owen feels the same, and he's recalling odd interactions with Kendra. Like he'd randomly get texts from her.
Yeah, she'd want to cut his steak for him. And
yeah, cut his steak up at dinner. That's super weird. And she was showing up to his baseball games, even post-breakup with Lauren. And everyone found that a little bit weird, but we're talking about hindsight here as well. She was heavily involved in sports, and she cared about the family. Like Jill and their husbands were still friends. So you can sort of see why she might still be.
I mean, even me taking my daughter to sports on the weekend, that's annoying. Like, I'm not going to fucking go watch some other turd play sports.
That is so true. So Kendra is now in jail. And another weird thing here was that contacting ban that she had during court. But she's actually allowed to talk to Lauren while she's in jail, and they get to talk every Monday and Wednesday. There's this whole back and forth in the documentary about what they talk about, and their relationship is actually still really good, which is really weird.
I liked communicating with my mom while she was in prison. So I could talk to my mom on Mondays and Wednesdays. We were just talking about our days, things that happened, funny stories. And she would send me emails, and we were able to email back and forth. She told me to kill myself. It makes me feel a little bit sad, like, why is my own mom telling me to do that? I've, talked to her about it, but not necessarily, why did you tell me to kill myself? I still question it every day. I still don't know why.
Kendra has done her term. She's released in August of 2024. And here Kendra starts discussing again about her trauma. And it gets even worse, right? She mentions how she got raped when she was 17 years old, and she's got all this trauma behind it. And she could see that Lauren was getting older, and she didn't want her to have the same trauma. So the only logical thing to do to protect her was to control it and send her 1,000 text messages telling her to kill herself.
Nothing this woman says makes any fucking sense.
No.
If she was assaulted as a teenager, then that's terrible.
That's
but
bad.
I don't buy it, and I think it's just very convenient. But I just think it's another excuse for her and another way to push the blame away from her personally.
I wanted to try to control the outcome of her journey. I was afraid of letting her grow up some right? Wanting to protect her and keep her safe and keep her close, and scared to let her grow up because scared of what could happen to her.
This had such an effect on the whole town, not only the kids, the parents, and it's to the point now where Owen and Lauren don't even talk to each other anymore. You know, all the kids have been affected by this. Jill feels really guilty as well because she was really pointing fingers at Chloe, just like you were about 10 minutes ago. Really pointed out, this bitch did it. She was the same. And Chloe's parents are not happy with Jill either, because they felt like she really came hard at her. And Chloe's dad points out that he had mentioned Kendra being the one involved many, many months prior. And they're pissed off at Officer Main. They think he's fucking useless. And they love Brad Peter from the FBI. They were really pissed off with not only Jill, the school, but Officer Main as well. So they were really happy this sort of came good for Chloe, because Chloe was really getting looked at hard here and did actually look like a viable suspect. So I feel for them. As angry as they are, you can understand why.
Yeah, they're all still victims in this.
Absolutely. So since the incident, Lauren, she seems really mature for her age, and she has gotten closer with her dad. She's not allowed to see Kendra. They have not seen each other for 18 months by this stage. But pretty much the documentary ends with Lauren stating that she still loves her mum more than anything.
Being without that relationship, I think, is really hurting me. And I think rebuilding our relationship will help both of us a lot. I love her more than anything.
And we're at the end of the documentary. I just don't feel like there's much closure. Kendra went to jail. Yes, she was caught and everything, but it just sort of ends and that's it.
No, I don't think I liked the ending similar to you, because it felt like there was no closure, really. Like, even though they caught the perpetrator, she did her time in jail, everything like that, but she didn't show any remorse. So that's what I didn't like.
Yeah. No, hate her. So what did you think about the documentary as a whole anyway?
I actually really, really enjoyed it. As I said throughout it, I kept changing who I thought was involved, and that was obviously the point of the documentary, and they did a really good job of it, obviously. I'd put 3 people on the crucifix, and I was getting the matches set to burn them.
Yeah.
And then for it to come out as Kendra, fucking Quasimodo the entire time.
It was really hard to watch this documentary to find that out in real time because, like I said, this blew up on social media at the time. So it's really hard to just scroll Facebook or Instagram without seeing a meme of Kendra.
Yeah.
And there were so many good ones. And like you said, I think we're going to do a side-by-side photo on our page of Quasimodo and Kendra, and you go, okay, yeah, we agree with you.
I can see
it. We're not just being arseholes. We are arseholes, but she deserves it. Fuck Kendra. So look, I really enjoyed this one as well. I just thought it was really well done. The interviews were really good. The way that you thought it was this person and that person. Yeah, really good. Well done. Like I said, just sort of no real closure at the end. I think there was just no murder or kidnapping in this one. So it just felt a bit less.
Yeah, possibly. Yeah. Yeah, it felt a lot more comedic than the other ones we do.
Yeah, very lighthearted. It was nice.
Yeah, definitely. Well, next week, we're back into some murder. Woohoo! It's my one next week. And we're doing a brand new one, actually, which has just come out on Paramount Plus. And this one's called Handsome Devil, Charming Killer. And no, Grandma, it's not about me.
So play the preview.
Yeah.
A lot of ladies think he's attractive.
Very nice, very well-spoken.
This is what I do with women, you know? I use my charm, use my good looks.
I fell very much in love with Wade. He's the ultimate bad boy.
I almost thought I could fix him.
I guess you know what comes across my mind. Murder. Just murder.
I stand here today to announce the indictment of Wade Wilson for the murders of Christine Melton and Diane Ruiz.
I choked her out so she couldn't breathe anymore. I was on a rampage at this point.
I'm gonna be honest with you, son. Everybody in the state thinks you're a monster.
While locked up, this is when Wade began getting his face tattooed.
This case exploded on social media.
Wade Wilson, the Deadpool killer. This went worldwide.
Women were absolutely enthralled with him.
He was building a cult following.
Hey, Chris.
Hello.
Hey, Breezy. What's up, baby? Love you so much.
There's fans who have never met this man showing up for this trial.
I can't wait to get out. We're going to have sex for hours.
To advocate for someone because you think he's handsome, even though he committed brutal and awful murders.
I started getting death threats because I had testified against him.
I was going to get married to Wade before the trial.
I'm Zane Romero. I'm Diane Ruiz's youngest child.
The moment that I realized that I was done was during Zane's testimony.
I almost killed myself because I couldn't bear the idea of turning 15 without my mom.
He's still pulling the strings from a jail cell. He's got an army of wives. That's all he's ever wanted.
There's nobody behind those dark serial killer eyes.
A rage overcomes me. Just kill. 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 When I get that way, I become the devil.
Yeah, I'm under your spell.
I'm like a lion. You're the prey. I can sense it.
I'm fascinated to watch this. I've not watched it yet. There's been a lot of social media talk about this guy. He's a good-looking guy, but he's gotten all these face tattoos and he looks really freaky. But he also shares a name with the Marvel character Deadpool.
They nickname him the Deadpool Killer. Yeah,
that's
Wade
right.
Wilson.
So yeah, Wade Wilson. That's right. Except he's not ugly like Deadpool. He's actually an attractive man. I think you talked about Ted Bundy getting all these love letters. That's a similar situation in this. So I'm looking forward to watching it and getting to the deep dive with you.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. Well, good job today, mate. I think you did that one justice for sure.
Thank you. Looking forward to next week. And I guess in the meantime, mate, try not to murder anyone.
You too, mate. All right. Love you.
You are so needy.
You had that one lined up in the chamber.
I did.